You're listening to the BFF Black Fat Femme podcast
on the iHeart Podcast Network.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Black Fat Femme podcast, where all the intersections of identity are celebrated. I'm one of your hosts, Jon, also known as DoctorJonPaul. And as I've mentioned in shows before, I want to bring it back up because I feel like I feel like we need to talk about this again because a bitch is tired. People who have to back into a parking space. Come closer. I want you to come here. Just lean in. I'm gonna grab you by your ear when I ask this question. What does it accomplish? What do you get out of inconveniencing everybody else because you have to back in? I want to know. I would like to know. I would like to know that. I would like to know that.
I love
it
it back
like I'm five. So, because
okay,
I don't.
Let me just. Usually, I wouldn't respond to your, to things you do at the beginning of this, but I have to respond today.
Okay.
Because I'm also a backer in. So
I hate it.
Actually, you're supposed to, when you have two cars facing forward, you're supposed to back in actually in between them, so your front doors will hit each other because the front door is right. If you all part the same way, you're more likely to hit each other. And so when you back in, it actually is easier for you in between, so your front doors don't like hit each other if you get in the car at the same time or something. That's one reason why I to do it. It's also it's just a bad bitch move.
You're literally inconveniencing
only
everybody.
If people are around you, girl, don't do it. But there is a reason why. Like, that reason between the cars is a good reason, because you don't want to fuck up someone else's car or your own vehicle.
Okay.
You said, I really don't buy it. I'll
let it rock. I'll let it rock. I am a girl that can, because nothing at this point nothing in this world makes any sense anymore. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend to act like okay.
Who cares?
All right. Who cares? But if you are a backer-inner and you see 3 or 4 other cars behind you, and you take that time to back in, I hope you go to hell.
Now that part is like, girl, if you have a line behind you, bitch,
go to hell.
I am back in with one behind me. It's maybe one person, because I can back in fast. Also, bitches out here doing 27-point turns, girl, do a simple 3-point turn called like a damn day. So don't listen. When I back in, bitch, I'm swift.
You get it.
Call me Taylor. Okay, it is so quick.
And I see it for people like you. It's the people who back in.
Yeah.
Don't really know what they're doing. So
back
they go forward,
stop.
Then they stop. And then they go back.
Hit somebody, knock over a grandma on the way out. Like, it's doing too much. Yeah.
Doing too much.
Doing too much.
Yeah. But you know what? Let me stop whining, because ain't nobody going to give me no cheese. So with that being said, how you doing, bestie?
Oh my God, John. First of all, I'm tired as hell. I will say, lovies, it's your bestie Joho. Jordan, aka Joho. I keep forgetting that every motherfucking week. Motherfucker. I'm here to remind y'all. Well, so 2 things. One, let me just say, my lips is so chapped. God damn, DC. It was so cool, bitch. I used a whole tub of Vaseline on my lips, and I still come back with some chapped lips. I hate that shit. Now, I'm here to remind y'all that fat people don't owe y'all nothing about their health. If you follow me, you may have seen my stories rant last week about this. I just want to urge folks to refrain from sharing your concern with fat people about their health. Yeah. If you cannot provide concern in the form of financial support, mental health support, bigger playing seats or systems change, your concern is a bullshit. I have time this week, baby. Don't try me.
Yeah.
Try Jesus. Try your mama.
Yeah.
But don't try me. Please and thank you.
Even Apple, they now have the Creator Studio, which you can try for 30 days. You can go in to Apple now. You can try the 30 days free of the Creator Studio. Yeah, it's 30 days. You get to try it. So yeah, don't try us.
Since y'all fuckers like Chat GPT so much, why don't you ask Chat?
Yeah.
Why should I refrain from asking fat people about their health? Because it will tell you, because it's not your goddamn business.
Nothing about anyone is anyone's
goddamn business.
No.
You don't ask some people about their health, girl. Don't ask me. God damn.
Because there are a lot of thin people who are on crack. No shade. I'm just saying. A lot of thin people do coke. A lot of thin people.
And let me say this, right? People are concerned, for example, about Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, and Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
They are famous actors who have resources. If they have concern, they will handle it themselves. You need not to worry about them. Like, people, you don't know people's lives.
Nope.
You actually aren't their friend. Like, you don't need to.
I think that's
So,
that's the gag. I don't really know you
parasocial
like
has
that.
gone too far. Like, I don't know who you are, girl. Stop it. Did I tell you, bitch? Did I tell you about the man? But since I'm on this, okay, because I did not share this on my stories. But when I flew back from DC, I went to the airport. And before the airport, I had brunch earlier, like a few hours earlier with a friend that lives in DC. So I'm at the airport, and this guy's like, hey, how was your lunch? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, how was your lunch? And I was like, I did not eat here, so like, I don't know what you mean. Like, do I know you? He was like, oh, well, I had the Virginia oysters. And I was like, oh, you were at the restaurant I was at earlier. Is that what you're saying? He was like, yeah. It's funny that you recognize me. And he was like, of course I recognize you, baby. You're not very small. And I was like,
oh, okay. Okay.
I said, huh.
Yeah.
Enjoy your flight.
Yeah, that's
you.
very fucking rude to say, but okay.
I was like,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't get what the, like, why was that? Like, what? And I literally, like, I was walking with friends, and so, like, my friends were like,
Yeah.
and I was like,
But that is the day in the life of a fat person. That is
Right?
That is the day
I
in the
was like,
life of a
girl,
fat person.
what?
People feel like they can say
all this.
and do. Even the snide, yo, what's up, big man? Fuck you.
Baby, I don't know who you are.
I don't.
You
We're
saw
not
me.
cool.
And also, mind you, the restaurant was 45 minutes away. You went out of your way to tell me, to ask me how was your lunch, bitch. How was your lunch? And then how was lunch, you fat bitch? Like, you must have just
Basically, hey fat ass,
like,
what did you get?
Right? Like,
What did you get on your plate?
And
Was it a
obviously,
lie?
bitch, obviously you saw my fucking lunch, didn't you? Because you were out here
could have
watching
paid
me
for
eat
it.
the whole.
You could
Okay.
have said.
Let me tell you, because let me tell you,
"Whatever's
my
on that
friend
plate,
went Dutch.
I'll cover
What?
it." You could have said.
What?
He could have said.
That's what-
That person
Hey,
over
girl.
there. Hey,
I got them.
yeah, I got.
You know what? Yes, they did get the French onion soup and the duck and the bread and the pie, and I'll pay for all of it.
Yeah, I got it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But no, just dumb.
And see,
Just,
then,
and like,
if you would have cussed him out in that moment in that airport,
I would've been a bad
you
person.
would have been the person.
I
with
would
the
have been
problem.
kicked out the airport and missed my flight home. And I was like, I know, but the thing, and he was you know what he was, and
Of course.
older. And usually those are the ones that go for me. And so I was wondering, I was like, is he flirting with me? Because given that he's flirting with me, because old men love a big bitch, and they love a young big bitch. Listen, I've realized people do love big bitches. They just don't share it out loud. But old men love a big bitch like
They
me.
sure
God
do. They also
damn,
love
it's wild.
trans.
They also
The men,
okay.
yeah, I'm gonna go on record and say it. Some of y'all are married to men who love trans women.
They
I'ma
love the
just
dolls.
say it.
They love
They
the dolls.
love a doll, honey.
They love a doll. They have enough Barbie at home, so they love a doll. How you doing?
How you doing?
Anyways, this week's episode is gonna be a tough one, y'all. Besides the shenanigans right now, but a necessary one because we got a lot to get through. So.
Amen.
We're going to kick off our show like we do every week by giving Miss Tisha Campbell her flowers in our Still Here segment. Thoughts and prayers, that maybe one day she comes on here.
She will.
To give a bit of levity before the seriousness of our discussions today, and knowing we're beginning a new month already this year, which is, girl, that is crazy. I was so fast. Ooh.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, girl, how was your month? And using your little crystal ball, how do you think this will be? How do you think this will set the tone for the rest of the year? For me, this year has already been rabid. Like, it's a nasty time to be alive. I think of. Did you watch Girls Trip?
I did.
When Tiffany Haddish breaks the glass and she's like, "You a nasty nigga. You a nasty." That's how I feel about. That's how I feel about this year already. He was a nasty year. And so, we are witnessing same-sex violence damn near every damn day. People doing dumbass shit like that shit in the airport. And yet, you and I, and some people are also getting great opportunities as creators and leaders. And it's giving like a chaotic balance to me. Like, the year is wild because shit keeps hitting the fan. But like shit keeps happening as well too. And listen, I'm a Libra. I love a scale. I love balance.
Yeah.
Love balance. The scale's always tipping in everyone's favor. But like, girl, this scale is like fucking rocking the boat, baby.
Yeah,
Shit.
it's very much given. Have you ever seen that meme of that little boy who's going down a slide And as he's going down the slide, he's bumping
like-
his head all the way down. That's literally what this year is already given.
Literally already
2026
given us.
uh-huh.
God damn.
Giving us like,
Will it ever get
okay.
easier?
Yeah.
I want to know, will it ever get easier?
Yeah,
Like,
that is the
and I
question.
think of the Degrassi theme song, whatever it takes. I know I can make it through. Bitch, I can't make it through. If I hold out, if I
I'm
do, I know I can
struggling.
make it
Please.
through. Girl, I'm not making it through.
Yeah, Monday was that day for me. Monday, I woke up and I said, "Oh, this is bad, honey." I said, "Okay, this is bad." Because most days I'm usually like, "Oh, everything's gonna be good. We got to be good. We got to support each other. I got my community." But Monday, I woke up and I said, "Oh, we are in danger, honey." I said, "This
I
is
have nothing.
bad. We are really, yeah."
Will Robinson, we in danger, girl.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, we very much. Who is Sam Wheat? Sam Wheat. Yes, it's very much giving. We are all in danger. But yes, to your point, very much giving chaotic balance. I will say this: this has been the longest year this month. So much has happened in January and we're going to talk more about it a little bit. So I don't want to like super dive too much into that. But what I will say is I'm happy that it feels like a light cut back on in me. And what I will say is what I dance between is the fear that this type of I call it productive depression, like this productive feeling that I have of like, wow, it's really bad and there's so much going on, but I have to figure out how to work through it. I'm really not trying to normalize that, but I'm also asking the question, is this going to be how it always is? And I functional depression, right? I'm really trying my best to not let that overtake everything. But what I will say is that in the midst of the the functional depression, I have been functional. And so still showing up to record, still showing up to teach, still showing up to do work stuff, still showing up for friends, going to conferences and doing like this month was very much kind of like, okay, girl, you can be down.
Yeah.
But you got to get up, you got to move, you got stuff to do. And so, even down to like last year I didn't write anything. Like last year I literally, outside of whatever last minute things I needed to do from a book, I didn't write anything. And so to be back in a place now where I'm writing, which I will tell more of you about that later. Joho, you already know. So like being able to get back into the writing swing of it. And then, there's something me and Chris, Chris, shout out to our editor. We had said like way before the show was even like the show that it is, me and Chris were talking about doing something. And so we're finally now almost 9 years later doing it. And so just setting ourselves up for all of those kind of things, I think that for me is literally just telling myself like, girl, you can't wait for nobody to give you a green light. You've got to be creative. You have to continue to make stuff in this world because right now they're doing everything that they can do to take our creativity, our stories, whatever joy and whatever light that we're putting out into the world, they want to take that away. And so it's like, and then also recognizing too, like my productivity relies heavily on you got to get paid. And so if I don't I don't make no money.
Facts.
And I'm not trying to go backwards. So just really getting up and saying, bitch, you could do it, but if you got to cry when you do it, cry when you do it. But really think about at the end of the day, you still got to do what you got to do. So it has been productive. I'm beating functional depression today, but I'm learning and the words of friends, I'm learning to take it day by day. And that for me is what I've had to do in January. So
one step at a time. There's no need to rush. It's like learning to fly.
What is it? Jordan Sparks? Is that Jordan Sparks?
Yep.
Yeah. Jordan with the IN.
The little heel walking shit.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, while we wait for the ghost of Sylvia Brown to let us know that the land, honey, the land. What has in store for us. We'll take our first break. Back in just a second. Hey fam, just so you know, the conversation we're about to have next is a pretty heavy one, so we will put a trigger warning in here for folks who may be impacted by ICE or state station violence. That if you want to skip this part and go to what's poppin' segment, please feel free. We'll put in the show notes what timestamp that is to skip this, but we encourage you to stay and listen because it is important for us to discuss together. Thank you. Okay, fam, we are back. And as we said earlier, today's going to be a tough but important conversation because we're discussing state-sanctioned violence. What's happening in the world and our analysis of it through
not you doing it with like a joyful not to cut you off, but you were doing this so joyful. I'm like, bitch, this is scary. But go off. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to make it a little easier for us.
I got you. I got you.
I want to first begin by sharing the names of people we know who've been killed and or harmed by ICE in the past 30 days. Renee Good, Alex Preddy, Keith Porter, Gerardo Lunas Campos, Victor Manuel Diaz, Peradilla, Luis Beltran Yanes Cruz. I'm going to say it probably wrong, but Abel Sanchez Dominguez, and Luis Gustavo Nunez Carceres. Let's start here. 2025 was ICE's deadliest year in more than 20 years, with 32 people dying in ICE custody, whether they were in a facility or in a hospital, they were still in ICE custody. It's February by the time this episode comes out, and that list is nearly a third of that number already. What do you think is pushing this? And how are we seeing communities fight back?
What I will say is, as I was reflecting on your questions, what happened?
I was going to say, but y'all, avoidance is privilege, so let's wake that shit up as well.
Okay, we can wake that up too, right? It's easy for us to pretend like none of this is happening and go on about our day when it is literally impacting so many people in so many different ways. And so I appreciate you bringing up this conversation because part of the thing around here is that, like, yes, we love to have fun. We like to talk shit. We love to talk about pop culture, but we also have to talk about the stuff that is impacting and harming us. And as much as people keep thinking, well, ICE is not my thing because you may not be Latinx or you may not be someone who is from, who might be an immigrant, or you may not be somebody from, another international, country, because we do recognize that not all people who are immigrants are Latinx. Like anyone can be an immigrant, right? Anyone. And so no matter who you are, right
here.
Yeah, anyone can be an immigrant. No matter where you're from, this ICE situation is going to impact you. But what I will say to your question is these niggas want us out of here. And that's really what it comes down to. They believe that this is their land and they want us off of it by hook or crook. And but the gag is, right? And I keep saying, I know throughout today's episode, I'm going to be saying nigga a lot. So
I was like, damn.
Because that's really my only way to say it. Like these uneducated niggas, they forget that nobody is legal on stolen land. And so that privilege seeps through in every capacity because people believe, oh, I was here first. And it's like, nah, girl, your people came here. Y'all niggas didn't even know how to get here the right way. Y'all was lost. So if you really want to talk about it, like y'all, like you think so much, like you literally in your head believe that this is quote unquote your land, but it is not, and it's never been. And so it's frustrating and it's mind boggling to see people utilizing government and utilizing law enforcement and all these different systems to harm other people when really these people are here because they just want peace. And that's the thing that really bugs me, right? When you talk about folks who are immigrants, regardless of where you're an immigrant from and where you come from, a lot of the conversation is I came here because I felt like my life would be better if it was here. And then they get here and they realize that they're being tortured and they're being treated poorly or damn near killed. And it's just like, for what? For what? Like, I don't care that you're not taking, and that's the other thought. Oh, you're taking resources out of my, baby, you were broke before they got here. Seriously, like you didn't have
you
no
had no
money
resources, babe.
You had our government doesn't care about anybody. So you're over here talking about they're taking my jobs. Nigga, you didn't have a job before they got here. Before whatever person got here. I'm from here and I can't even really find a job like that. So what is it, Kim? Like, what is it? What is I think for me, that's literally my biggest frustration is just there's so much of this is my land. This is where I belong. So I'm going to do everything I can to get you off of it. And it's like, girl, the land that you quote unquote love and that you so stand by has been doing you dirty for centuries. But here we are.
Okay.
But yeah, I think as I was thinking about this, I keep thinking about how so much of this relates to the system of state sanctioned violence And I just kind of wanted to know what your take was on it, because I know I said a mouthful.
So, one, I think just to your point about land and stolen land, right? And like
Honey the
fact
land.
that we are honey the land, that we were literally built off of immigration, right? Like I really want to like focus on that for a moment, because I am so curious what history some people actually receive. What education do they receive, right? Like
None.
I know history is told.
None.
I mean, but like I don't think it's none. I think the education they receive is literally that Americans have been here forever. Like I think that's what the right, like, or that they believe the start of America, well, that the start of the country was the start of America, which was the start of like
When the turkey was passed down from the pilgrims.
Exactly, right? Like and I think people really take that story and run with it, and I think there's like some people like like there's a I think some people have like a pride in that, which I think is really wild and weird, right? And like, and definitely like this idea of, I always find it funny because we frame the East, right? Like people frame like when like Eastern countries, and like, or like the idea of like Orientalism, right, is the idea of framing people from Eastern places as like barbaric, right? Yet we came from an Eastern place, like as colonial people, and then felt the Western people were also barbaric, and then slaughtered them. And I'm like, so like who? If, like if you think if you think everyone's around you is barbaric,
then what are you, girl?
Like if you think everyone around you is barbaric, but they aren't doing barbaric things,
what is you?
Are you not the barbarian yourself, girl? Like that's about. So I'm like, let's talk about that, And state sanctioned,
yes,
state sanctioned violence is unfortunately the bedrock of the America Project, right? And I use the term project because I think we're in the midst of a seismic shift. A more public experience of mass killing and acceptance of it as American life. It was one thing when we witnessed violence and our highest government leaders were condemning it, but now they're the ones spearheading it, right? And the government always has in some ways too, but like publicly they haven't publicly in some ways, and now like they are no holds barred. And I think is a new experience that we have to grapple with as citizens here, right? Like we are seeing now, like, right, like in some cases, right, like Black folks have always said from jump, this place does not want us here. Is state sanctioned violence. It's killing us every day.
Yeah.
And we see the systems of government systematically extinguishing our lights and killing us. But we still see our like mayors or council people or presidents or governors condemning that. And now our highest person in power, who in some cases controls like so much of our agency as a country, believes in what's happening, like wants it to happen, and is pushing for it to happen, and is using force to do it, and then blaming others when, like, I thought the language of Alex Preddy being armed, I'm like, oh, he's armed and dangerous. And I'm like, but literally ICE is armed and dangerous. Like this man carried an open carry state. And like he didn't even like furnish it to anybody. He just had it on his person.
Yeah.
And that was grounds to kill him. But like because he was dangerous and armed, but you all like again, you're also armed. Like, what do you mean, girl? You're armed and dangerous too. And so it's just like,
yep.
And I think it's also like we're in like the I call it like the great gaslight campaign. Like we are being gaslit every day. And in some cases, I will say this, like, it's kind of masterful. Like, it's kind of masterful how much our government, particularly our administration, is gaslighting us every damn day, and it makes me like, do we feel this? Do we believe this? And also, like, I, like, right to the point of the land being taken, that was the beginning of us inflicting violence upon others and building our country off of it. And so this is like a project, right? Like we haven't been here for thousands of years. We are a relatively still newborns type of country, and we are trying to build it by force, and that is harming people. And I'm also curious your thoughts on this, because knowing your background is in educational justice, right? And social justice is a big part of your practice. What do you think about that?
Yeah. So I've been really intentional about not getting my own underwear in a bunch because what I understand and what I know, not only just from like a scholarly and a research praxis, but also from a place of like just being black, fat, queer, and living in this world, that all of this stuff is created. And when I say created, it's like you said, it's masterful. The way that it's constructed, it's intentional, right? The chaos that's being created
Yeah.
is intentional. And
Yep.
so, kind of back to your point, I definitely wanted to make sure that I didn't lose this thought that when you said that you said it's masterful. Really, it's by design. And I think that's the thing I
Mm-hmm.
really want people to fully understand is that the anger and the frustration and the like, why is no one doing anything about this, is because it's by design. Oh, also, that was the other thought that I had before. I was gonna go back and say, I think it's also very funny we talk about immigration, but I'm like, isn't that the same thing your people did? Didn't the people from England immigrate over here to
Well,
so
and that's why I'm like, immigration is literally part of the entire like. That's
everybody's
why
in
I'm
well, we were
that's
stolen,
why
but go off.
that's why I'm like you think the country began when we came here?
Right.
Like do you not like that's giving flat Earth theory.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That's giving
yeah.
what's it called, like evolutionists over like Big Bang theory. Like
Uh-huh,
you think
uh-huh.
that look like this was just land that was uninhabited, and then we came and then bam, we inhabited and we made this country. Like,
Yeah.
girl,
So
come on.
yeah. Come on. And so that. And so to your point, and when you ask this question about educational justice and you're like, you have a doctorate in it, I immediately went to this place of saying people keep forgetting how powerful education is and how
Mm.
powerful it is not. And so what I mean by that is when you don't, I kind of always have said this and I will keep saying this until probably I'm 6 feet under. It's not it's not intentional that slave owners didn't want slaves to read. It's not
Mm-hmm.
it's not by chance that low SCS socioeconomic status individuals, folks who live in poor areas or people who don't make quote unquote good money, it's not it's not lost on me that they don't have good education, because the better their
Mm-hmm.
education, it allows them to understand what's happening to them, and it allows them a map to get out of it. So when you really think about everything that has been happening, I keep saying this and I keep going back to this. Think about why this administration in 2016 and in this and currently has always gone after education. They came for that right because they knew. So
Mm.
even with and so I've been seeing, like, this was it yesterday I saw. So by the time y'all hear this, it'll be last week. So last week we saw that case be thrown out, right? About all of the stuff that's happening with education versus the government trying to basically sue and say no DI and all of that, and it
Mm.
basically was thrown out. And so everyone's like, yay, it got thrown out. But what I'm going is, it's like, no, yay. They knew what they were doing by doing that, because at this point, every quote unquote good thing that has been connected to education is now gone, or fading slowly. So what I mean by that is the black resource centers and the funding for DEI work and all of the people who were doing DEI work at the educational level and all that, they're gone, right? So the damage is
Mm-hmm.
done. Even if this is thrown out, we still don't have
Yeah.
the right resources we need at the educational level to help those who need
Mm.
it, i.e., us. So that was
Mm-hmm.
intentional to go in. I've always said this administration is literally like putting a Tasmanian devil in a room and just letting that Tasmanian devil go. They're going to chew on all the cords.
Mm.
They're going to pull all the wires off the wall. They're going to mess up, because that's
Mm.
what they are. Like, their intent. There's no rhyme or reason, right? It's let me fuck up everything that benefits other people because it doesn't benefit me. And that's really to
Mm.
your point. They're all uneducated buffoons, right? And so when they see a me who has 3 degrees, they see a you who's very educated and very knowledgeable. I mean, you have a degree and you also have all of the things that you become a problem for them,
Mm-hmm.
right? We collectively, because our collective knowledge, even in this conversation, right? Our collective knowledge is more than they'll ever be able to understand. And so that's
Yeah.
the reason why. because it's easy. I'll get off my soapbox in a second, but it's easy also with the lack of education to make people believe it's their own fault for the world
Well,
looking the way it does.
and what I find interesting is that the people who are doing this, right, are all educated themselves. Like the people who are doing this are the ones they had education, and so it's interesting because I'm like, I just say them like, oh, like of course, right? Like it's like I agree, they are cutting us off at the knees when it comes to educating like our future generations, and so it's like they're saying like we were like, how do I say it? Like it's fascinating and sad that they know the value of education because they got that education. That's where they learn how to manipulate power.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they're saying to keep power, we want people to be uneducated then.
Yep.
Instead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so it becomes, and so I want to make this clear, right? As much as people don't talk about it, Bush did the same thing. He was just less racist about it. He was just like a lot of these, and that's the thing I also want to make very clear. I'm not pro Joe Biden. I'm not pro Obama. Yes, I'm not going to say that they were all terrible, but what I'm saying is that every single system has done something to cause harm to somebody, and we have to be okay with that. We have to sit with knowing that as a country, that's just how our country operates, right? Our country operates from a place of harm. But what I will say is this: the idea that they're making education more and more hard for people to get in terms of cost, and the fact that they're doing all of these things to try to dismantle education, they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, and they know how they're doing it, and they know who it's going to impact the most, because who are the most educated? Us. We are. So, I guess now that I'm done with my TED Talk, I would like to ask, because you made a point on your stories the other day, and I don't want to call it a rant because I don't think what you were saying, that I could see if you were talking about maybe, what's something that's not going to be problematic. I could see if you were going on a rant about Taco Bell getting rid of their, the hot sauce, or if you were going to talk about bakers changing their fries. That's a rant. Okay, that's a rant. You're on a soapbox. You're talking about all of the things that need to change or that have changed that you're not here for. What you were saying were literal facts. Like every single video was facts. So for me, I want to say your stories really had something to say. And I think what people are not paying attention to, as much as people are not paying attention to, there's a correlation between the rise of Ozempic and the usage of Ozempic and what it's being used for, and also state-sanctioned violence. And so I would love for you, considering what you shared in your stories this week or this past week, what is body suppression, and how do you see both of them playing a role in all of the stuff that's manifesting right now?
I'm super happy that you asked, because some folks did reach out to me about that language. And I also think it connects to your point about making people uneducated too, right? Like I'm making a connection about fat phobia and body policing to ICE, because the concept of body suppression, which is like, I mean, it sounds like, right? Like you're suppressing the body. We have had voter suppression, we have gender suppression. So body suppression is like suppressing the body in the ways in which it functions, both like in a physical way, in a power way, in a like metaphysical way, in a legislative way, all in all the above, right? It's supremely interconnected across all these issues, and they all relate to state sanctioned violence, because our country was built off the attempt to control what bodies are able and unable to do here. What spaces we occupy, what rights we have, what education we receive. And so, like, there is not a disconnection between the war ICE wages on immigration and the war Congress wages on trans rights and healthcare, or that big pharma wages on bodies, and with the tools of Ozempic, right? They're just different dimensions of each other. And so I made that point because like when we eliminate education for people, we're suppressing what they're able to learn and what they're able to achieve, right? Like with education. And so we're suppressing their body through their brain. When we are talking about policing fat bodies or healthcare suppression, we're limiting what bodies can do or access in life. We're when we think about the way we build our planes or theater venues, we're limiting what big bodies can do in public spaces. When we're thinking about healthcare, we're limiting what trans bodies can do to get gender affirming care. When we think about people who are immigrants being put off the street by ICE or murdered by ICE, we're suppressing the bodies that can be in this country and and their desire to like contribute to the country. Your
Yeah.
point you made earlier, you said, many folks who immigrate just want to come here for a better place. And not just that, the yes for that, and because we positioned ourselves as a country
Mm.
to be the place where people can come for a better
Home of
life.
the free.
We
Yeah.
literally marketed ourselves
Mhm.
to be the place where people can come to have better lives, and then we punish and kill them for wanting a better life. Like
Yep.
that is, and like that's the mind fuck that we're having to deal with right now. That's the mind fuck of body suppression that we're dealing with. We are literally being right, like if the whole country is a single human body, right?
Mm.
Immigration is like our right arm, transracial our left arm, body politics is like our left knee. Like we're being
Mhm.
cut at every limb around us to prevent us from movement, to
Yeah.
prevent us from movement work, for like we're in an era where we are trying to essentially fight for civil rights again.
Mm.
And we are being cut at the limb, on every limb. We're being cut. Our tongues are being cut. Our hands are being cut. Our legs are being cut. Like we're being diced off because, to your point, the power above us knows that that once we know better, we will fight for better. We will
Mhm.
advocate for better.
And
there's something
now,
I think
not to cut you off, but also say we all have more resources now to do better,
Yes.
right? We have social
Yes.
media, we have the knowledge, we have the language, we have the books.
Which to that point, right?
Yes.
To that point, right?
Uh-huh.
Again, with suppression, now being suppression with our tongue, with the way that person bought TikTok, and now
Yep.
they're silencing
And
the
saying what you
ads
can
or
and can't say
what
there.
people can
Yep.
say on TikTok, or the way we see it on Threads, right? Like social media, which was again purported to be a place of like an extension of like the free mind and free way of thinking, has now become more privatized and being more limited in what we can do or say.
Yeah.
I find it so funny in the worst way, an ironic way, how much the whole spectacle of suing TikTok and China for the ownership of TikTok for under the guise of censorship,
Mm-hmm.
when TikTok was like, we are not doing that, we have no interest in doing that, just to do it ourselves. Like basically it's us saying, no, you can't surveil us, we can surveil us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bitch, I want to be surveilled regardless. Like I don't want to be surveilled. I know I am.
Mind your business, right?
But
yeah.
I mind a business that pays you, because we all
Right.
do, because we pay taxes. So like we all mind a business that pays us.
And
like
I pray for the day that we don't. I pray for the day that
pray for
everybody
the day.
collectively says, fuck, and and we may have to bleep this. So Chris, go ahead and bleep this, because I don't know if this could be on the air, but the day that we say fuck, we are literally revolting. Like I literally can't wait for the day that we wake up and recognize that these systems don't care. And that's the thing I keep, and that I think that's the
Yeah.
thing I think that is most frustrating to me in this moment. I know you have a point that we have to make, and I know we have to move on, but I was going to say, I think the biggest thing that's been frustrating to me is that there have been so many people, and it's not even just in the last 10 years. I'm thinking Angela Davis. I'm thinking, who else? Alice Walker. I'm thinking about all of these people who wrote and spoke very vocally about these systems and said, these systems don't care for you. And now we are where we are because so many people thought that they were,
Yep.
it's never going to catch up with me.
It's never gonna be me.
It's never
and
gonna
yet
be me.
here you are.
And now you're standing in line begging for food just like other Black and brown people. You are being picked up by ICE.
So dumb right now.
Yeah, like you are being picked up by ICE.
Standing out. Yep.
You're having to stand outside your door with the cowbell screaming, ICE is coming, because you voted against your own best interests because you thought that these systems were never going to catch you with your underwear around your knees. And it just baffles me. It really baffles me. So yeah, I could go on for hours about it, but it is something that really burns my biscuits.
So how do we cope? It's a question is my last question I have for you.
I know. Yeah, that's a loaded question. I it took me a minute. I actually went when we were doing the show prep and I saw this question. I actually went down and I did other stuff and then I came back to it because I didn't want to just put something here.
Yeah.
I genuinely wanted to say, like, and I mean this with my whole heart. I think this is the question that I'm asking myself daily. How do I continue to keep doing in a world that is working overtime to silence me, really
Mhm.
honestly wants to take my life away? Like, I think the world will be so, and I say the world, I say that as a broad stroke, because I feel like I represent so many other things, right? I represent liberation in so many different ways. The fact that I'm so free about my queerness, the way that I'm so free about my blackness, the way I'm so free about my fatness, right? Like, these are all the things that this world is like, oh, we got to get that person up out of here.
Yep.
And I've seen it manifest in so many different ways, from my public firing to the ways people probably don't support this
Mm.
podcast, to the ways that people probably talk about me in meetings that I'm not in. Like, I know that, right? And so I think about that often. I try not to harp on it, but it's a reality for me that I go, I know that there are people and there are places in this world that are looking at people like me and Joho and are saying, we got to get them up out of here. We've got to find a way to make them basically shut up. Um, and I just saw a story this morning about how discrimination shortens our lives. And I think
Mm-mm.
I have been talking with my manager, and this about this conversation of, how much COVID has taken away from us and how much COVID took off of our life. And so there's
Mm.
been that, right? I even I told them, I said, I have not been this sick this many times since COVID. Before COVID, I never got this sick. And I grew up a sickly kid. And so I say all of that to say, and again, this is just my long way around the bend. I feel like between thinking about COVID, thinking about discrimination, thinking about the ways of our government, the ways that ICE is harming people, the way our government's harming people, the fact that people in Palestine are still being harmed, like, it's really easy for us to say, oh my God, nothing is ever going to get better. It's going to always be this way. But I think
Mm.
that's the point. I think this world, I'm not going to even say this country, this world thrives on people being hopeless and empty. It
Mm.
fuels capitalism and racism, because the more sad you are, the more you're going to buy, right? The more poor you are, it's easy for us to make you feel like you're a
Mm-hmm.
terrible person for being poor or for being a marginalized individual. And it's, oh, you brought it on yourself. So I think for me, this is what I had to sit with. I said, I think the best thing we all can do is disconnect wherever you can. And what I mean
Mm-hmm.
is not to check out, but to take a moment for yourself. Like today, I was telling you, I said, I have an hour and 30 minutes today. I have the means. It was actually a gift card. I have a gift card. Let me run and go get this deep massage real quick so I can get these kinks
Mm-hmm.
worked out of my neck. I told the masseuse, I only got an hour. I just need silence, and I just need you to work this crook out of my neck, right? That for me was that moment of me saying, okay, now I can get back to going to my podcast. I can go teach. I can go do these things now that my
Yeah.
neck doesn't hurt. Because rest is resistance. So if it means you have to say no, it means I don't have it today. I'm not going to do this thing, or I'm going to take this money that I know I have and I'm going to use it towards something I really want to make me feel better. I'm going to go be in community with friends. We're going to cook. We're going to do whatever you need to do. Knowing that you've got to rest is resistance. I even think about taking a year off from writing and focusing on my own wellness. It allowed me to come back and say, oh, okay, now I know what I want to say and how I want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. After a year of not writing. And so I felt like I needed that. And I believe that right now, self-preservation in whatever capacity, if you are a doll who likes to do your thing do your thing and do your thing, honey. Whoever you
Do
do
your
it with, just be
thing.
safe. I'm just saying, like, do whatever you have to do to preserve yourself, because that's going to be the only way for us to get forward. But also be okay with telling people to get somebody else to do it.
I know that's fucking right.
Mhm.
Ooh. Well, fam, now we have you ready to call your senators, your city council people, or have somebody else do it.
March.
We're going to take another break for you to do just that. More in a sec.
All right, y'all. So for this week's What's Poppin' segment, for those of you who are new here, What's Poppin' is when we get into what's going on in the pop cultures, because Lord, there's a lot happening. There's a lot of things
Girl.
that is going down to the pop culture. And so this week we are going to hit y'all with two requests from some of our listeners. One of the requests was for us to talk about Traitors, and then the other one came through literally right before we were getting ready to record. Someone wanted to know our thoughts on Kanye, and so I tapped my good girl, my good Judy, and I was like, "Yo, we can add this to the What's Poppin' segment." So, with that being said, First, we want to get into everything Traitors. Now, I will say this, I have a love-hate relationship with it. It is very bittersweet because I do enjoy the show, but I have a lot to critique around it. But hate it or
Mm-hmm.
love it, everyone knows it is great TV. There's just no way to get around it. It's such good TV. Then we get into the race dynamics that keep popping up every episode. And I think that's been my biggest critique is not only just with Traitors, but you think about Big Brother, you think about Survivor, you think about really any game show.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be this weird, interesting dynamic where everyone wants Black people to go home first. And so I guess we really want to just kind of touch on that real quick about why. I know why, obviously, but I think for me, you had asked me in the pre-show, you said, well, why do you think that is? And I said, I think it started with Cirie being the first woman, the first Black woman to win. And I think more than anything, this country has made folks more racist than what they want to admit. I think that even those who are like, oh, I'm not racist. I'm like, yeah, bitch, well, you're anti-Black. So, and if you want me to help you understand that more, you can go to my website, www.drjonpaul.com, and pay for me to educate you on the differences between anti-Blackness and racism. But that's my take on it. What are your thoughts?
So, okay. So I know people are like, it's just a game show, girl. So like, why are you so bent about it? But I want us to interrogate the biases people may come in with, right? Like at the round table, if you watch the show, with Colton and Tiffany. Colton came for Tiffany because he said she was too aggressive. Which already, right, is like misogynoir at play. Already a common thread that we see against Black women for being too aggressive.
Yeah.
When they're being smart people. Now, she read him down and she was like, I am smarter than you. But let's mind you, Colton was also being just as aggressive. But as a white man, as a white queer man, he's okay to do that. As a football player, he's okay to do that. Right? Like, we give him a pass for being aggressive. Like, they literally eliminated Tiffany and Michael, and then we're like, no, but Colton is really aggressive. And it's like, y'all didn't think about that way earlier.
Right.
He's been aggressive since day one. So why can he be aggressive, but Tiffany can't? Ron made a good point as well when he was like, y'all were all fine when I voted for Michael, but when I voted for Portia, y'all are still on me for that. And listen, like, Portia going home first.
She set herself up for that.
Like, she set herself up. Like, she said,
you gotta watch your words, girl.
Girl, you gotta watch how you play the game. Like,
yeah, you gotta be careful.
She wasn't set up for the best success in the show for sure, right? It's like, I'm not like
the brightest crayon in the box, though.
As I said, Portia, how you gonna say? I gonna say what? I gonna say when when I killed him and how many traitors there are. Like, girl, like, you know, you played yourself on that one, right? You know, that was silly. Monet fucked up because they told Tiffany, no, they told Candace about Lisa, and the Monet Candace was on Lisa's, right? So like, right, like that isn't where those dynamics came out, but it came out with Tiffany, it came out with Ron, right? Inversely, Ron, quiet Black man. He's not.
He just wanted to be left alone. That's all.
And right. And so I'm sure and people are like, oh, he's too quiet. He's not playing the game enough, right? And it's like, oh, like, what bias might be there? We think Black men. We think Black men are always going to be loud people who take up space, right? Or that they act different. And so they're like, oh, like, and like there's literally no reason why I would ever have thought he was a traitor. Like, there's a reason why I would have thought that. Like, right? And people could be like, either you're a traitor and you're playing a great fucking game, or you're a faithful. And we'll find out now. And like Ron's like, I'm not playing a fucking game. Like, I'm just here to like be on vibes and like have fun. Like,
right.
Y'all are ruining that for me, right? I think about
y'all are ruining that for
me. They are, right? Like, I think about Bob the drag queen last season. Bob was a great player and was sticking out. Right, like, and he's fighting with Rob when Rob was so obviously the traitor and Bob was not. They kept. Well, I mean, Bob was a traitor. Actually, I lied. Sorry, Bob was a traitor. But arguing with Rob, and Rob like came in guns a-blazing, right?
Yeah.
I think of Peppermint, who literally like, there was nothing that she had said that would have triggered any thought in me that she was a traitor.
Right.
Like, I mean, and like. Obviously, yes, I'm like watching the show, so I'm seeing the inside stuff too. But when they were reflecting back with what she was saying, I was like, this literally makes like y'all respectfully makes no fucking sense.
Right.
And so,
nope, not at all.
Like, I want people to ask themselves when they see the roundtables come out, right, and people are playing this game.
Yeah.
I want to think about like the bias people come in with, right? Like for like Dorinda, bless her soul. Miss Girl is not a game player, but her bias was on 10.
Yeah.
Like Dorinda, you don't know the game, baby girl. You don't know what you were taking out the first episode of the last time. Like I don't know what game she's playing, but she's not playing the game that everyone else is playing. And so I'm like she's not coming with gameplay. She's coming with her own bias. It is what I'm seeing. I'm thinking of Phaedra when what's his face was like, oh, like you're too extra, right? And let me say this. Kudos to Kate. Kate, the white ally that everyone needed in that show, because she was out here being like, she is extra. What's your fucking point? Like I was watching that scene again when I forgot his name.
Extra
Dan was
because
coming.
You're not enough. I know that's right.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
But and Diana, like Phaedra was like, what did I do that was so bad for you? And Dan was like, oh, because you were talking about Bergie, and Kate was like, her saying Burgalicious was problematic for you, like was problematic for you,
right?
And then he was like, oh, well, she like voted this way. Voting for that person who was obviously a traitor was problematic for you. Like I was like, go ahead, Kate, read his ass, right? And like you see it coming there, right? she's too extra. Why can't that woman be extra as fuck? Like why is that a problem? Right? And like Phaedra was prepared to eat his ass up, and
Phaedra always is. What you're gonna always get from Phaedra is good TV. Period. But I just
good TV and good gameplay. I live for her.
Very very good gameplay. I think that's also a big part of this show is when and the only other way I can say is when the whites start to notice that their gameplay is not as good as others. I've noticed there's a trend of them.
Let me pull out my racism card.
Let me go ahead and do the thing.
And do not let me be on this
work.
game, because I'll be the first bitch to say you're being racist.
Yeah, and that's so. Let me say that because someone hit me and was like, "Oh, you saw that America's doing the basically regular people get to go be on Traitors." And I thought to myself, I said, "Oh, that might be really good for me and my brand because people know me and people know what I do. It would be really good for me to. Okay, maybe let's try it." And then I thought to myself, I said, "The moment that I see somebody do something that I know is clearly racist, I'm gonna be that nigga that calls it out, and they gonna vote me off." And then I'm gonna be labeled and deemed the evil, angry black queer person. Nope, I said I'm good because that's how it always plays out, right? Anytime you hold anyone accountable, even in this world, that's the reason why we're where we are, because white people were upset that a black person became president. Anytime you hold people accountable for whether what they do or what they've done, they immediately move right into that biased area. And that's why I said, I'm okay. I said, yeah, that money sounds good, but I'm okay. I'm good. I don't need it.
Are the applications still open? Because I might apply for that. Because let me tell you right now,
I
can make it good TV. I can be like, girl, you're racist.
Yeah.
No, girl, you're and I'll make a good TV for everybody. Everyone will eat the fuck up. I'm like, you're racist, and let me tell you why you're racist, girl.
Let's sit. Come here, sit down. Come here.
Let me just
come here, sis.
Have you gone to school before? Let me just give you education real quick. Let me just here's my lesson plan. You're racist, girl.
Yeah.
Let's talk
baby.
about it.
You know you're racist, right? Yeah.
Okay, right? Like, no, listen. I'm like, listen. You may have ate me up, but that was racial bias, baby girl. Like, let's talk about that. Are you mad because I have nails?
Standing on them goddamn stairs, pointing at somebody, being like, you know that was racist, right? And
racist as fuck, girl.
Yeah. Clock that T. Oh, look at my sister. Clock that T.
Racist as fuck, girl.
Clock that T.
Wake that shit up. Girl,
Wake
I'll be at the round table. Wake it up, y'all. Wake that shit up. That bitch is a fucking traitor.
Was it racist?
You're being
Well,
racist.
yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, yes.
Yes.
If someone's like, Jordan, do you think I'm racist? Well, yes, I do.
Yes.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
I love you, but you're racist as fuck.
You are.
Now pass the salmon, bitch.
Yes. You are very racist.
Anyways, so that's my thoughts on it. Now, as John said, we have two topics to talk about. So, anything else you want to say on Traitors before I move forward? Okay,
yeah.
So
just watch it knowing that if you are a black or brown person, know you're gonna watch it with your titties itching. You're just gonna be irritated.
You finna get mad.
You will be
get mad as hell.
Mm-hmm.
You'll love the TV, but you'll get mad as fuck.
Very.
So the next thing on the agenda for us is we want to talk to you about the full page ad taken out in the Wall Street Journal this week by
Lord,
Kanye West, apologizing for his harm on the Jewish community and the black community. Girl, I have thoughts on this.
As you should.
Okay. I want to get so. What?
I'm finding it.
I'm finding it.
Yeah.
I'm marinating. I'm sitting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm vacillating and stuff. Like I'm trying to be nice about it. Fuck this man.
Yeah.
Fuck this man.
Yeah.
I do not think that there's anything you could say about you take out an ad in the paper. Also, Wall Street Journal, girl, who reads that? Why that paper? I have questions. To apologize. And this is my thing.
Who is reading Wall Street Journal?
Who is in WSJ? Girl,
Yeah.
what? No, okay. Okay,
it was a choice. It was a choice.
The gag is
it was a choice.
I read so many stories about that ad, and none of them were on WSJ.
Correct.
So what's the point? Not one hit for WSJ, y'all. But I take seriously the way people discuss their mental health behaviors.
Right.
And I take seriously the way it manifests for some people. And I know many of folks who have bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 and who manage it, who manage it. This man has all the resources in the world to manage.
Yep.
And so I'm you actually, you cannot, I feel like there's a scapegoating, of mental health. That's problematic because I'm you have the resources to manage yourself and have your get on the proper medication, the right therapy. And now you're fine. Also, now that you have a new album coming out, you said, let me get good with people to I just think it's so problematic. Also, respectfully, a page ad does not absolve you, girl. You want to apologize? Pay for everyone's college tuition. You want to apologize? Go go pay for some new JCCs. You want to apologize? Go pay for Black education. Yeah. Go fund BLM work. Go
say it with your checkbook,
with your dollars. Okay, because that's all you got from me right now. There's nothing else I want from you besides that. There is nothing you can say that would make me think that you actually are apologetic about. Because if you were sorry for a girl, you wouldn't have made that. You wouldn't have made your Hail Hitler song last year.
Well,
wake that up. No one's discussing that. He dropped a song called Hail Hitler, and then it got banned from every music streaming service ever. And then he had to remake a whole new song called Hallelujah instead. And
is that is that the one that everybody uses now?
You know, I can't tell you because I don't listen to anything with that man.
Praise the Lord.
I don't do anything with that man.
I just hear it.
I'm sure it is. But I'm this man made a little song in 2025 in Beyonce's Green Earth to make a song called Hail Hitler. And I want to get into a few things. Right? People have a critique right now that his apology for the Jewish community is sufficient. And I want to be really clear, intentional in saying, one, that is up for the Jewish community to decide, right. Nobody else. And two, not for this Jew right here. It's not enough. While being a little as anti-Semitic sucks, right? The reality is you only said sorry when it felt convenient. You cannot spend the past years talking about how you want to kill us. You want to go DEFCON 3, which Hitler is still here. Hitler inspires your music. He was a muse for you. You cannot say and do all these things and then be like, I'm so sorry for the harm I caused. While you were not gun to head to Jewish people, you influenced people to hate Jews more.
Yep.
You influenced people to attack Jews off the street more.
Sure did.
No. Your apology, and anyone who thinks it was sufficient, was not sufficient. And anyone who thinks it's sufficient, strongly encourage you to understand that it wasn't. Yeah. It was not sufficient. And then for Black folks, his apology for Black folks was also so annoying because he was like, I'm sorry I was anti-Semitic, blah, 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 and I'm also sorry for Black folks. Do you understand why? You were seen as one of the highest levels of art form for Black art.
Yeah.
And music and rap.
And people... I would even, not to cut you off, I would even say people still do. I think, yes, he has fallen off. Yeah. But I still find people who are like, oh, I miss the old Kanye. So yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he was lauded for the art that he gave the community.
Yep, sure was.
Like just to make blackness look so make it look so bad in a public way, to make it look so bad in general, to blame black folks for our own misery and our own like status in the world, right? To say that we want to be slaves, to you can people saw themselves in Kanye, and then in a place in a time where we already had so few black idols for people, right? Like, how many black men were like, oh, I can't see myself. I mean, there are black men probably who do see themselves in him still, and I'm like, why? But how many black men were like, oh, I can't. He can't be like my dude no more.
Right.
I can't rock with him no more. Like you disappoint, not disappoint, but you hurt people and made them feel like them being black was actually a problem, right? Like, so, and as a black Jewish person myself, you harm both of my people for the sake of what? And then you want to come and say like, oh, like none of it was me, when you had every opportunity and resource available to make the best decisions. Like, I'm in the middle of reading. I'm finishing this autobiography of Marsha B. Johnson, right? And there's so much about her undiagnosed mental behaviors, right? And that she was neurodivergent. She would have breakdowns and such, right? And like, she had no resources really around her to like manage it, and yet she self-managed in some tough way, right? Like, if she did all that, you could do all that and then some, because you have all the money in the world to do it. I'm sorry, but like, fuck you for that. Fuck you for that.
Right.
I believe that there are some things that people can come back from, but I don't know if I don't think so for this. Like, not for him.
No, I think the damage is done. Yeah. I think the damage is done, and that's why. I mean, Lord, you were ready this week. Joho was like, I'm coming out the gate hot, honey. No, I will say you said everything. You took everything out of my mouth. I think at this point, there's got to be some. So this is the only real thought I have. I want to know. And again, I'm not going. This will probably never happen, but I would love to sit down with Lil Wayne. I would love to sit down with Kanye. I would love to sit down with 50 Cent, and I would love to sit down with Nicki, and I would love to say, what did they say to you beyond the money to make you feel like, and I say they, meaning the right, what did they say beyond the money to get you to make yourself look that foolish out there? Like, I don't, like, for me, so I'll say this. The other part of that is, I've been thinking about, niggas don't love to think that the clown will ever come back to bite. And now in this case, the clown is it. Right. And you're down in the sewer. Right. So now, like, but there's a part of me that's like, what makes you think that it is okay for you to be down there with it? Right. What makes you think it's okay to be just playing in the sewers, thinking nothing's going to happen to you? And then to put it back on us, that we have to forgive you for the harmful, terrible things you said and did without any repercussions. You've done absolutely nothing to prove that you're truly sorry. You just said it. I don't know. I'm really, really over, and I say this loosely, I'm very over the industry at this point. I'm very over Black people doing and saying things that they know are harmful and acting like it's never, and we're going to talk about that in a second. We're like, it's never going to come back for you. And it's like, sis, like, Nicki, like, even looking at Nicki Minaj, I'm looking at her and I'm going, like, I want to be disappointed, but also part of me is like, that tracks. It tracks. It tracks. Like, and I'm not surprised, but I want to know, like, what, because there's not enough money in the world to make me look like a clown in front of somebody like that. My own people specifically. But here we are. So anyway.
Do you want to take the last commercial?
I can take the last commercial. Yeah, child.
I want to do all the commercials.
I was like, okay, she's going to do all the commercials this week. I know that's right. Okay. Anyway, with that being said, like us, I hope you aren't forgiving racism or xenophobia or any of those other things that that man is out there talking and doing. And so while y'all ponder your thoughts on this, we're going to take our last break and we'll come back with your favorite segment. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dive right on in. I'm about to dive. She wanna dive in it. 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 But yes, I'm gonna dive right on into our yes, ma'am, and I know, ma'am, Pam. For those of you who are new here, this is where we ultimately talk about things that we love, or things that we can't stand, or things that just rub us the wrong way. Sometimes they're very very political, very driven, very, very smart. And then sometimes they're just really stupid as hell. Things that we just truly are just like, I'm over this shit. So, with that being said, this week I'm going to get into kind of my intersectional tease. I'm going to say that my yes, ma'am is to Karamo with a pause, because it is not a full yes, ma'am. It is a ... yes, girl, period. What I mean by that is that I don't see it for Karamo, because it's frustrating to think that all of this started now, right? As she's getting ready to end her run with Queer Eye. And I personally believe that Karamo now knows that whiteness is not going to serve her in the right way. She now finds it like it's convenient. I'll just say that. It is very convenient that you're going to wait to the very last part of like the last season and then be like, oh, these girls were mean to me. Okay, but you were very okay with aligning yourself with them every other season. Okay, girl. I'm just saying that, right? Two things can exist at the same time. So I do appreciate that she's speaking out about the white dolls. But however, while I can drag her, I won't. I stand by Black people, and I stand by them speaking up against racism and all the other things. So I hope that she has a Don Lemon where this will help her recognize that, girl, you tried to align yourself with them and they othered you, and now look at you, you got egg on your face. I hope that this is an opportunity for her to wake up and to see that the industry does this to a lot of Black queer people, and how often it doesn't pan out the way that they think it's going to. So,
okay.
I just want to say
right.
I'm here for the Black dolls who stand up to the mean white gays. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Yeah. So my no man Pam this week, I was going to go into a whole. I'm gonna mention it because I think it's valid. I'm very much over the digital ordering systems. I don't know if you've been through a Burger King lately, but they no longer have people taking your order. It's a computer that takes your order. When you drive through. I'm not a fan of it. It sucks. So I just kind of want to put that out there. The other thing I have to say, Chris, if you can just put in some church music, because we had someone who passed away earlier this year, and we didn't give them their due diligence. We didn't say goodbye to them. We really didn't have any time. We had no time.
It was really sudden.
It was very swift.
Not even hospice care. It was just
nothing. They were literally here one day, and next day they went home. It's very hard. I want to mention that I think it is an absolute travesty that Sprinkles went out of business the way that she did, because them cupcakes were bomb, and people tried to play in Sprinkles' face like them cupcakes weren't good. That frosting, sometimes they had crust on the bottom. Them was some of the best cupcakes that I've had personally. Some of the best cupcakes, and it just makes me very sad that she's no longer around. So,
and all the people that worked there, like just
that
were
also,
like
let's talk about
girls,
that.
Good luck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Let's talk about how literally December 31st, they said we're closing operations come January 1st, and how people in a day lost their jobs. So, fuck them for that. But also, I'm really upset from my own selfish reasons, because now I'm out here with no good cupcakes. I have not found a cupcake to replace it. And I love a cupcake. I love cake, but I
Croissant.
love
I love a
cupcake. Son.
cupcake. I love a cupcake.
A good one. So
I
it's,
feel that. Ooh.
it's sad. It makes me really sad. What are your yes ma'ams and no ma'am pounds for this week?
First I just want to say I love intracommunal politics because I think like I too am like, listen, no skinfolk, kinfolk, but I will not stand for the dragging of a black person by white people.
T.
Like I would say, listen, you can't say shit. They can come on here and we can get them, right? I love Traitors. Everyone was like, don't be homophobic to Colton. That's fucking trash. They got Michael out, and then they're like, okay, but now we must get Colton out too, right? Like,
It's time.
They said, don't get him because he's gay. Get him because you want him out because he's too aggressive. Like that. That's the shit I love. They said, listen, like Colton, like we're here for you. We'll ride for you. Homophobia is not tolerated here in this house, but you do have to go because you are a rude player.
You're terrible.
Like that.
You are terrible.
That's
yes.
the shit I fucking love. We love intercommunal politics.
Well,
My
yes.
yes, ma'am. Well, yes, my yes, ma'am. It's the city of San Diego and the people of it, not the city itself, but the people of it, because I love the community of San Diego. So, beginning this year, we had parking meters installed and parking rates to park in Balboa Park, which, since its history, has had free parking for everybody.
Okay, that changes.
They
things.
were charging $2.50 an hour, right? It's like $5 for 2 hours, but then they also changed. But then they changed it to like you had to pay for you can pay for a pass, $300 per month, or for a year or whatever to park there, for the sake of like raising revenue, right? The community was livid. Like parking has been free forever,
right,
in Balboa Park. It is a cultural center. People come there for museums. People come there to relax. Like people like love this place because it's accessible. It's a public space that's accessible to people.
That's downtown, right? Balboa area.
It is downtown adjacent, but it is in the center of the city. So
I'm trying to think about what do I know that's in Balboa?
Several museums, like most of the museums are in Balboa Park. There's like it's not talking to you that it's staying on business.
No, you're not. business.
Balboa Park is like known as a crown jewel in San Diego. When I was closer to it, I would walk to the park every Sunday, like and go to a museum.
Oh,
so like
when you in the other house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like love Balboa Park so much. I mean, I actually live closer to it now than I did before, but I don't walk as much to it there. Whatever. Now that said, when the parking meters were installed, people started destroying the meters and was like, "Fuck you, city! We're not paying this damn shit." But people were still getting tickets. Now, the upheaval has been so much that the city council has now. So actually, let me back up. What people then there was like thousands of public comments. They decided to instead give a reduced rate for residents of the city for their parking, and then higher rate for people who are not residents. Right?
How do you prove that?
So you would register an online portal via like your zip code, and that would determine if you're eligible or not, right? Like I know I'm eligible because I live literally a mile from the park.
But can you just use somebody's fake address?
Well, no, because you have to like also upload a document that proves that like it's you like a bill or something.
Right?
A lot, right? A lot. So yesterday, a proposal was put forward by City Council to make it free again for all residents of the city. So see, it's a half yes, ma'am, because city residents, if it goes forward, would get free parking, which is what we're fighting for.
Right.
And then possibly a free Sunday parking for anybody. Now, non-residents would have to pay still. Part of me is like, listen, I'm not mad about that because I'm a resident, so I'm happy to not pay.
Right.
But if you're not, if you live like in the next city over,
right,
you're paying to go, right? So for example, like Nashville City is a city that's adjacent to San Diego,
right? Maybe
10 minutes from my house. If that 10-minute drive means you would probably have to pay. It's like so
okay.
You have to register via online portal still, and they will scan. So now they're gonna have scanners for license plates essentially that will control the flow of traffic. Now this also happened because, and I doubt because of the people, because the museums of Balboa Park got together and said we've actually had a 60% less turnout for the month of January, and 60% less people coming to our spaces and museums because of this. So let's discuss. It's probably because of money, not the people. But yes, ma'am, that we might get free parking once again for citizens of the city. So that's that.
Well, go off, girl.
My no ma'am ham is the ICE agents who killed Alex Preddy were put on leave, And that's not
I
enough.
saw that.
Not enough. Like, we need to do more. They leave should be the least of their worries. It should, like, I don't believe in incarceration, so it should be something else. But like, well, I won't say what I think it should be personally, but like,
Yes, but no, I feel the same way. I think it is very telling when we see someone do something we know is against the law, and then we go, "Oh, we're investigating it." And I'm going, the same system that that allowed this terrible thing is now investigating the
what is
person
it to investigate?
who
We have the
did-
video, girl. It's right there in front of you. Like,
We saw you, girl. Your titties was out.
like,
We saw your nipples.
like we saw what do
We
you
saw
can
your
investigate?
nipples, girl.
It's
We
clear as day, baby girl. Like,
girl, we saw. We saw the burning bush, honey.
like,
And here we
Nasty
are.
put some clothes on. I told you. Whew.
Don't walk out your house
The
without
house
your
without them
clothes on.
clothes on. I told you.
But here we are. Here we are. Gaslit.
The Great Gaslight of 2020.
The Great Gaslight. That is going to be what
Girl.
we title this episode.
Girl.
I will be adding that. The Great Gaslight. Because that's what it's giving. Everybody wants
That's
to tell
what's
you.
giving, girl.
Look over
For real.
there. Look over there.
Stop.
The Great Gaslight. My God.
I hate it.
But anyway, with that being said, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Because if we stay here, we'll be just more and more depressed about the state of the world. So send your
That
thoughts,
part.
your feedback, and email to blackfatfempod@gmail.com. You can also send us your thoughts via social media and interact with us on the threads, on the Instagrams, on the use of the tubes, all of the things, honey, by using Black Fat Femme Pod. Joho, where can the dolls find you?
Every week, you can find me at Joho Daniels across all socials. My website, JonDaniels.com, where you can connect with me for any speaking engagements or consulting work. If not there, you will find me on the couch watching the season of The Boyfriend, season 2 of The Boyfriend, which is a Japanese gay dating show. The first gay dating show.
I'm familiar. Yeah.
Fucking great. These men are so cute, so fun, and I love the way they communicate their feelings. Like, wow, raised better than American men are, for sure. Love this show so much.
I definitely have heard that show's really good. It makes me a little apprehensive about Love is Blind returning, because that's going to be back next month. I was going to also say the Tyra doc. We're going to have to watch that, and we're going to have to definitely break that down.
We're going, yep.
So for those of you who are asking, I know it's early. We got a couple of weeks, but we will definitely be covering.
We're sat, baby. We're sat.
We will be covering the Tyra doc. You know who I may tap for that? I may also see if Francesca wants to come back to have that convo with us.
Okay.
Because that might be fun. Considering that she had a whole podcast where she broke that down, like all of the things that went wrong with that show. So yeah, we'll reach out to her and we'll see if that'll be a good conversation. But anyway, as for me and mine, I'm all over social media at DoctorJonPaul. I'm on social media at DoctorJonPaul. My online website presence where you can go and you can also reach out to see whatever consulting that I can bring to you and your organization. www.drjohnpaul.com. If you would like to purchase my book, you can head down to Barnes & Noble. You can go to Amazon. You can go anywhere where you buy your books. I also wanted to continue to keep pushing that it'll be me and a few other individuals. Jamila LaRue will be there. February 21st, we will be down to the Elysian Theater doing Drunk Black History. Tickets are on sale for 15 gold heads. I will be talking about Polly Murray in relation to LGBTQ Black queer history. So come on down. It'll be fun. It'll be a time. If you want to see me on Hulu, watch Who I Am Meant to Be. It's on ABC, where I talk about the magic of the Black Fat Femme show. I'm going to always promote that because I was so proud to be able to say something something I was a part of, something we've worked on is being lauded and being uplifted by someone like ABC and Hulu. So just was a good feeling. Anyway, with that being said, this has been another show. Stay black, fat, and fabulous. And remember what, Joho?
We may not be your cup of tea, girl, but kick rocks. That's all we got. Suffer.
All we got is mashed potatoes and corn. You literally said we ain't got nothing else. I know that's right. If you don't like tea, Fuck it. Stay thirsty. Stay thirsty, my friend.
Choke. Okay.
Really?
You
really.
can choke.
Literally, you can choke.
You can
Amen.
choke.
With that being said, we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye. The Black Fat Femme podcast is executive produced by Joey Pat and Dr. Jon Paul.
All content related to the show is edited by Chris Rogers.
This has been a podcast by iHeartMedia and Dr. Jon Paul, LLC.
The Black Fat Femme podcast,
where all the intersections of identity are celebrated, honey.
I know that's right.